I don't know. It doesn't take as long as board account, I don't think. But it's, I don't know. I think it's somewhere in between board account and instant runoff.
So it's easy?
I don't think it's not necessarily easy.
In between.
We'll go through.
I really hope you didn't say that.
We'll go through. All right.
I mean, if you say it's not
Why do
easy,
you have
what
a
am I gonna
shoe off?
do?
Why do you have a shoe
It's
off?
full of sawdust. I'll be walking around in that.
Oh, good lord.
I'll
All right.
have to throw some tissues in there so I have to walk on.
Okay. 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 I was just asking why you had a shoe off.
Oh, that's alright.
It didn't require you yelling at me.
Oh, that's just the way I talk.
Great.
So,
All right.
Just hold it.
So let's say that we have a an election. So we got first place, second place, third place. Mason,
Yes.
what are your 3 favorite meals?
breakfast, second breakfast, third breakfast.
Okay, I'm more specific than that.
Manicotti.
Mason makes these a lot.
Pizza, spaghetti.
Probably steak first.
I was gonna be.
Okay, so
breakfast?
so steak,
Attaboy.
not for breakfast necessarily.
In general.
Yeah.
Barbecue ribs.
Yeah, ribs.
Well, you're not Mason.
I love ribs.
And
Better say
pulled pork.
Those ribs that we got from the store,
Okay, so let's make up this completely random survey that I just did that says that I don't know, 30 people agreed with Mason, and they said steak is their number 1, ribs is their number 2, and pulled pork is their number 3. And let's see here, if you had to rank just these 3, Stephen,
Yes.
which one would you say is number 1? Which one would you say is number 2? And which one would you say is number 3?
Probably go. Yeah, probably ribs. No, ribs and pulled pork.
Okay, we're gonna say that 45 people on this completely fake survey I just made up are gonna agree with Stephen.
Actually, it depends on the
Okay, well, that's
I
fine.
like how he says completely fake this when we
Well, no, I mean, like, I got one person here and one person here, but like I'm gonna say 44 other people and 29 other people.
So put
I'm just gonna give
PRS
Ask
now.
Isaac that.
Put
He's
PRS.
vegan.
You're absolutely right.
Neither do
Tofu, dessert,
Okay.
grass.
All right. All right.
No, I'm not
Brett.
Yeah.
How would you rank these 3 foods?
Probably would go pulled pork,
Okay.
steak,
Okay. Perfect.
ribs.
I'm gonna say that.
37.
55.
Hold on.
99.
Settle down. Settle down. I don't want it to have a majority.
How about 10?
Oh,
Two.
well then 55. 40.
Let's do 40. Settle down.
Did you hear me?
And let's do one more. Let's do one more layup. Tiara, how would you organize these?
Rib, steak,
Perfect. And we'll say 35 people did that. No, I can't do 35 there.
Why?
Because then it's a majority.
45.
How about 20?
Yeah, we'll do 20. Okay, so first, question number 1, how many votes?
45,
135.
85, yes.
So 75,
Man, you're smart.
I know.
115, 135. So Gus is exactly right, 135 votes. So how many would be needed for a majority?
Steve, you're gonna hurt yourself.
I know.
68.
Okay, 68, and you got that by doing 135 divided by 2, and then you get a decimal, and this is one thing that came up on the quizzes. Can you have half a vote?
Yes,
No,
actually.
no.
No, you cannot have half a vote.
That means you have half of the person.
Right, you cannot have half a vote.
I mean, or
There's no trouble
3/5 of
now.
a person.
Yeah, okay, plain text reading of the Constitution, yes, not anymore though.
Man,
The 13th Amendment changed that,
I was
dude.
pretty excited.
Okay, so you cannot have half a vote. So if I ask you, if I ask you how much is needed for a majority, do not answer 0.5. You have to round up to the nearest whole thing. Stephen, stop that.
Okay.
So if I want to know how many are for majority, it would need to be 68 or more. So 68 or more for majority. For majority. For plurality, it would be 67 or less. For a plurality.
Awesome.
Plurality. All right. Now, which one wins under the plurality method? This is the easiest way. Ribs, because it's got 65 votes. Okay, so plurality method is the easiest way. You just count up the number of first place votes. Now, here's the Conducive method. So, Mason, do you remember how to find out if there's a Conducive candidate?
Not really.
Great.
Maybe you should start doing it.
This is why I'm asking you, because every assignment I've had to show you how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ribs wins under plurality. Now, to see if there's a Conducive candidate, I'm going to take Ribs and I'm going to compare it to other things. So first,
Oh, yeah.
on this first one, does anything beat Ribs?
Steak.
Great. And how many votes?
30.
Okay. Does anything beat Ribs here?
No.
Does anything beat Ribs here?
Yeah.
What does?
Penis.
Okay. Now, how many times does steak beat Ribs here?
I think I heard that word.
Okay, quiet. Eyes up here. Guys, quiet. Okay. Now, with the 40 votes that steak beats Ribs here, and the 30 votes where steak beats Ribs here, focus.
I'm focusing. I'm listening to you.
Does steak have a majority of votes?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Why is it
that
a...
has 70.
Yeah.
Okay. So does that make steak a Conducive candidate?
Yes.
Okay. So steak.
I said P and S.
Okay, we're getting to P in a second.
Yes.
So right now, steak is a Conducive candidate.
Pulled pork isn't.
So let's check to see if pulled pork is. So pulled pork has 40 votes here beating Ribs. Does pulled pork beat Ribs anywhere else?
Nope.
Is 40 more than 68?
I don't know. Nope.
No. So is pulled pork a Conducive candidate?
No.
No. It has to be more than the majority in order to be a Conducive candidate. Mason?
I'm listening.
It has to be more than... I'm not going to help you on this today then.
I'm listening to you.
All right. Now, to do an instant runoff vote, IRV, you're going to remove whichever has the fewest first place votes. So which one of these here, Brett, which one of these has the fewest first place votes?
B. Oh, sorry.
Does P have the fewest?
No.
R1. How does R have the fewest first place votes?
Steak won. Steak has the
No, it doesn't.
Steak.
Okay. Steak has the fewest first place votes, right?
Yeah.
Look up. Do you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to remove steak. I'm going to remove it from here. I'm going to remove it from here, from here, and from here. And I'm going to move everything else up 1. So, okay, shh, quiet. If I move Ribs up, Ribs is going to get this 30 votes here. So now it has 30 votes, 45, and 20 votes. Is that enough for it to have a majority now?
Yes.
So who wins under instant runoff?
Ribs.
Ribs. Yes. Thank you for that drama. Ribs. All right. Now, that's instant runoff vote. Now, let's take a look at board account, which, oh my gosh, you have to do some math in a math class.
What? How dare you?
Yes. How dare you, sir? So, we have to do it for steak, we have to do it for ribs, and we have to do it for pulled pork. So, for steak, we only have 3 things. So, we're doing 3 points for each first place vote. How many first place votes without doing the instant runoff does steak have?
30.
30. So 3 times 30 plus 2 times however many second place votes it has. So 40 plus 20, 60. Plus 1 times however many last place votes it has, which is 45. So 3 times 30 is 90, 2 times 60 is 120, 90 plus 120 is 210, 210 plus 45 is 255. So ribs, we're going to do 3 times, stop that, first place votes, which is 65. I don't know, you guys were going to do something to each other.
No, really, we weren't.
All right, fine.
I kind of don't have my planner, so I feel like I usually go get some info.
I said yes like a while ago.
I know, but I don't have my planner.
Here.
Oh, okay.
Here.
For ribs, 2 times 30, and then plus 1 times however many last place votes it has, which is 40. So 3 times 65 is 195. 2 times 30 is 60. 195 plus 60 is 255. 295. Looking pretty good for ribs so far, but let's do pulled pork.
It's always been pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Amen.
Maybe you should run a ribs joint.
Can I get an amen?
So we got 3 times 40 plus 2 times, stop that. 2 times 30 plus, I'm so
Maybe
done.
11 for me.
Yeah.
You don't have to have assignment every day.
2 times 45.
You're right, and you guys don't have to be duty butts every day, and yet you are, and I give you an assignment every day.
Sorry.
2 times 30 plus.
So 120 plus 60 is 180 plus,
It's 2 times 45.
oh, this is 2 times 45?
Oh, you get
Okay.
And then the 1 times 50.
I'll be right back with you.
All right,
So gross.
I'm sorry, I made mistakes there.
On my shoulders? Is that extra credit?
Yeah, that should be extra credit. So I think it was both you and Rebecca who corrected me.
Bruh, fail.
Did you?
No, it was her.
It was Tiara?
No,
Sam? Oh, I'm sorry.
And then you started talking to Brett.
Okay, so I heard Harley Dowley. I thought I heard Rebecca too, though.
Dowley.
Dowling. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
What'd you call him, Dowley? Dowley.
I'm gonna give all 3 of you 2 points.
Cool.
Ugh.
Do what?
Oh my gosh. Just please be quiet for a little bit longer, please. So 120 plus 90 is 210. Plus 50 is 260. So ribs wins again. Now, pairwise comparison. All right. Pairwise. So what pairwise is you compare each of them in a head-to-head battle, and if they win, the one who wins gets 1 point. If there's a tie, they each get 1/2 of a point. So I'm going to do steak versus ribs. I'm going to do steak versus pulled pork. I'm going to do ribs versus pulled pork. And then, is there any other comparisons I can do? So steak versus ribs, steak versus pulled pork, ribs versus pulled pork. Is there any other comparisons? Okay. So steak versus ribs, who wins in this one? Okay.
Ribs.
And hold on, let me get the number of votes here. So steak versus ribs, it's 30 votes. Steak versus ribs, 45. So right now it's ribs to steak. So ribs got 45 to steak's 30. Steak versus ribs here. And then steak versus ribs here. Okay. Let me explain this better then. So, I'm just looking at steak versus ribs here, steak versus ribs here, steak versus ribs here, and steak versus ribs here. I'm just comparing those two, right? I'm taking the number of votes into account. So I've got 30 votes where steak wins, 45 votes where ribs wins, 40 votes where steak wins, and 20 votes where ribs wins. So overall, I've got 30 where steak wins, 45 where ribs wins, 40 where steak wins, and 20 where ribs wins. So the total number of votes where steak wins is 30 plus 40 is 70. And then I've got 65 where ribs wins.
So steak wins.
So steak wins. So who gets the point for steak versus ribs?
Thursday.
Steak. So I get, steak gets 1 point. So I'm going to do steak plus 1. Does that make any sense?
Sure.
All right. Next, I'm going to do steak versus pulled pork. So I'm only looking at steak and pulled pork. So here I've got 30 votes where steak beats pulled pork, 45 where pulled pork beats steak, 40 where pulled pork beats steak, and 20 where steak beats pulled pork.
So pulled pork is the-
Right, and so let's count up the votes though. So how many votes does steak beat pulled pork? 50. And how many votes does pulled pork beat steak? So who gets the point? Pulled pork or steak? Pulled pork. So pulled pork gets plus 1 point. And now we're going to do ribs versus pork.
Thanks, bud.
So So we're doing ribs versus pork. Great. So ribs versus pork. We've got ribs winning 30, 75, 105 of the time. Or Mr. Tack. Yeah, 95 times. And then we got pulled pork winning 40 times. So ribs gets the point.
Who wins?
It's a tie.
So Rip wins no matter what.
So under pairwise, it's a tie. Okay. Let's take a look at today's assignment. I'll go through it with you guys, even if you can just, you know, like hold on and pay attention. Do you want to do it by yourself then?
I'm gonna need to know.
Oh my gosh, what did I do?
Yeah. See how we can parallel.
See that spot versus
Steak versus ribs. Steak versus pulled pork.
Mr. Tack, what did you do?
you were born. Just kidding. That was really rude, man.
They print the right assignment.
No, I printed the right assignment, I just printed it weird.
So you go.
That's alright. On our assignment for English, it cropped off my name all 3 times.
You're too tall, Steve.
You mean
All 6 times.
No 6 times.
okay, so we'll go through this together. Just make sure everybody's understanding.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Still okay. Where did the car gas back up in the truck?
Yeah. Back behind that one.
If you're not understanding it, please ask questions.
I'm not understanding it. Can I ask a question?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was a statement.
Alright, I get it. Thank you.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just kidding, Mr. Jack. Time for a math.
Okay, well, let's go through, like, bear with me for the first part of this, and then you can go get a drink, yeah? But, like, bear with me for the first part.
Wait, so on that assignment where we only had to do like, that we had to do just a few questions on it, like just set amount of questions. Do I get extra credit for doing that?
Really? I don't know. I'll decide. I haven't decided. I haven't graded that yet. So
I think I did all of it right.
I know. Okay, so listen, please, guys. All right. Okay. So a group of people decided which car logo they liked the most. The options were P, Q, W, and D. Results are below. So first, how many votes for Cat? So 485. Not too bad. How many votes would be needed for a majority, and how many votes for a plurality? 243 for a majority. So not just 243, but 243 or more. Or more for a majority. And then how many for a plurality? 242 or less. Cool. And then who would have won by the plurality? B. Say Dodge. I mean,
Oh,
Yeah.
Q can be like some weird European company.
is it a Cuda?
Sure. And then I don't know what that means. Sure.
Wait, what did you say? WPB?
Volkswagen. That's how it's pronounced.
Okay, what did you say?
These are pronounced as that.
No.
That is just like-
What was the letter you just said? Like, there was W for Dodge.
Dodge Plymouth, Peter Plymouth,
And then,
which doesn't exist anymore. I said that Q here is some weird European.
And then you said, why is it Ford on there?
I don't know. You can change one of the letters to Ford.
Sport sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, back to this. So,
Nothing.
Mason, how do you check if there's an endorsement?
You gotta show
There.
Yeah.
Okay.
No winner.
That's because it's old.
So,
Sorry, if you got cut
Okay.
out of the truck.
So, I would check, I would compare D to, so I got three things that beat it here with 150 votes. Nothing here, nothing here. And I've got three things that beat it here with 150 votes. 150 equals 150. Is that more or less than 243? Great. So how many Dorsey candidates are there?
All
All
three.
three. So P, Q, and D. Or P, Q, and W. P, Q, and W. So for an instant runoff election, we're going to remove the one with the fewest first place votes. In this case would be P, and also Q, because Q doesn't have any first place votes.
Or Windsor.
Okay. We'll say Mr. Quinzer started the vote a second. So we're going to remove both P and Q at the same time.
Minus 1 P.
Oh, how dare
Oh, extra credit.
Maybe it's D for Dane.
Okay.
Not Q.
And we're going to move everything up to fill in the gaps.
When I was in Utah, we could place about Dana on the top.
Great.
W wins then.
So then W would win, because W then would have 106 or 265, which is more than a plurality, or more than a majority. So then W.
What?
Because W would move in to fill in these 115 votes. Q would get rid. You get rid of Q because Q had 0 first place votes.
I didn't take Q out.
Right. So here's the thing: you need to remove Q right away because Q had 0 first place votes. And then after you remove Q, nothing would change. So you remove P next. P would be the second thing that you remove. And once you remove both Q and P, then W is the one who is the instant runoff.
I just broke my elbow.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That was your shoulder.
Okay.
Can somebody put more sand up?
Okay. Listen, guys. Quiet. Steven, I don't think you broke your elbow. I have no doubt you're in pain.
No, but like, it sent a shock down my elbow.
I have absolutely no doubt you're in pain. Okay, Gus. Okay, board accounts find the winner. And then pairwise comparison. So board accounts, let's just look at this to do board account. So you're gonna, there's 4 things, so you're gonna have to use a 4-point system instead of a 3-point system. So if you're doing key,
What'd you say?
there's 4 things, so you're gonna have to
You
use
say key?
I said key.
Oh, it's a key.
So you're going to do 4 times the number of first place votes for P, which is 115.
Yep.
Plus 3 times 0. 2 times 250. Plus 1 times 1 point. And then Q is 4 times 0. 3 times 45. W 4 times 150.
Do you work out in the chat? I just talked in my head because we were talking.
Yeah, but you go to football practice.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. That's not even working out.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a cheerleader too.
Cool, good for you.
Okay. I'm gonna look girls really all day. That's really bad.
Yeah, it
I said that.
Should have worded it.
They kind of talked me into it. I was like, hey, if you buy me a pizza, I'll go and cheer.
Okay, guys, quiet.
Did they buy you?
Alright, so, under the board account, who wins?
Q.
You.
Do they actually? Did he actually?
What?
No, that would be.
The breakfast thing.
Did they actually? Did Q actually win? Oh, it was a guess. Oh, that's because they have all the second place votes. Same pizza.
I guess it's Q wins the next one.
Oh, good man. Yeah, that is good.
What?
Nothing.
We're the trio, you should know.
Now you're making that joke. He's the one who started it.
Yeah, I'm not remembering.
No, it wasn't a joke.
Okay, quiet.
No, it's a joke.
All right.
Like it-
So now let's look at pairwise comparison.
Oh, you're not.
Is it okay if I just leave this like right here for now?
Fine. So with pairwise comparison, you should have. Okay, quiet. You should have 6 pairs.
Well, queen. Bad.
Oh, that's the
Okay.
Oh.
So those are the 6 pairs you should have. You should have P versus Q, P versus W, P versus V, Q versus W, Q
Prius
versus
versus Dodge. Prius versus Volkswagen.
Prius.
Prius versus Quinzer. Quinzer versus Volkswagen. And Quinzer versus Dodge.
I tried racing Camaro yesterday.
I know, you told me.
Okay, quiet. Eyes up here, Q. So let's start with P versus Q.
Well, yeah.
So, which one wins in P versus Q?
That hurt.
Now we'll do P versus W.
It's a tie.
No,
No, P. P. No? I don't know, I give up. That was
So
it.
this is 215,
W.
and this is 270.
I don't get it. I kind of get it.
P wins the next
I didn't start right.
So this is 265, and then this is 220.
How?
Same.
It is snowing.
It is
Not.
not.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. Still barely.
Which one wins in Q versus W?
Q.
That guy held
It actually is. How do you care about me? Okay.
Hey, guys, quiet. Which one wins in Q versus D?
Q.
Q. Okay, why is it Q?
Because 115 is 265.
Oh, congratulations. You can down.
I think you should count by adding.
I'm math.
Do you do math, bro?
Yes.
Now the last one is W versus G.
W, yeah.
Queen Q wins.
How are you feeling today?
So which one wins in pairwise comparison?
Watch your profane.
Q. W has 2 points. Q has 3.
Q won.
You go the best here.
I'm gonna go take like 20,000 ibuprofen.
Take some ibuprofen.
I would recommend that.
Mason, shush.
That's aspirin.
Okay.
I'll take aspirin.
Even ibuprofen is going to be
I know, but we were talking about acid in your blood.
it'll thin your blood, but also like your liver is going to go first.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll start bleeding internally.
Really?
Your liver's going to go first. Okay. Heartfelt thanks to all who purchased t-shirts, wristbands, and keychains or luminaries who donated money to help support this year's Pack the Place in Hope. Sadie and Maria have been able to present Karen with a donation of over $2,200 so far.
Dang.
Juniors and sophomores interested in taking the PSAT, there are spaces available. It's next Wednesday, October 19th.
I won't be able to play senior night that summer.
National Honor Society members' induction arrangements are still undecided.
Are you gonna go eat?
All roundup students take the Fall Art Challenge and win. Details on the board between the girls' locker room and Ms. Kaufman's office. FFA members' showdown tickets can be picked up from Ms. Fox. Following students need to report to the library for INO. Nobody in here at the moment. Thursday is ASVAB from 8:15 on in the gym. It'll take until 11.
Tomorrow?
Thursday.
Oh, 2 days
Thursday.
from now?
So, who of you guys are seniors?
What?
2?
So, okay.
2? I said who? Oh. Yeah, you said 2.
What's up?
So not many juniors.
Not you. I'm a junior.
Yeah, you and Isaac are.
And Brett.
And Brett.
There's 8.
I was curious about how many of you were juniors and how many of you were seniors. Because the juniors are going to be gone on Thursday to take the ASVAB.
Oh!
Wait, you said the juniors were going to be?
The juniors are going to take the ASVAB.
I have to go take it too.
Oh, you're going to take it.
That was a long
So that's easy.
Okay, quiet please. High school volleyball versus Wolf Point on Friday. Senior night game starts at 2 p.m. Seniors will be introduced before the start of the varsity game at approximately 4:40. And then high school football versus Wolf Point senior night game starts at 7. Seniors will be introduced before the start of the game at approximately 6:40. Saturday cross country home meet at the Pine Ridge Golf Course. Meet starts at 10 a.m. High school volleyball at Columbus game starts at 2. Students must get their green and orange sheets turned into the office.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's anybody in here.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Cheers, John.
Actually, my truck.
2 people who aren't in here.
Me.
Mason, yes.
There's my sister truck.
Yeah, and your sister. And then, yeah, nobody else who's in here. So, Mason, you, and then Robbie and Isaac both need to. And then there's some scholarship opportunities on here.
Let's see that?
Can you put it on the thing here? Steven?
Yeah.
I will, let me grab a pencil.
Hey, quiet. Did you just notice? That's all I gotta say.
Do it, please.
No, because I'm not even growing.
He'll shut up. He'll shut up. Just wait.
With you as that?
Yeah, tomorrow.
On
Or
Thursday.
Thursday. Oh no, I'm done with it. It is, but I can still go take it.
It's so boring.
It's really, really easy. You
No.
can. I mean, technically you can.
Really?
But
We had to stay at school because we're all here.
What quiz did, how good it was, you guys don't think about it?
ACT. You'll have that.
And then I'll go to go, did it really hurt to tell it to go on that?
If you have honor pass, yeah.
You're not done.
It did.
So, work now.
I'll still
Or
go on
it's
that.
gonna be-
Even if I don't know.
We have to do
it's
PW.
gonna-
Or
Too late.
I already raised the work counting board.
I've only used
Got you.
So let's talk about Pairwise.
Stop that.
It's
You're worse
bad.
than John.
It's bad.
No, John's bad.
No. You should see mine on the phone.
You gotta finish your
Yeah.
Sure did.
That was great.
That was great. And a bear comes through and eats it.
My story is long, it's 2 pages long, but it's done like that.
Ours was one. I told you. Ours was 1.5.
Every pair. And then if
we had a lot of details.
Mine was this, right, Steven? It was about the kid thing.
Brett, come on, dude.
They got the label.
Our character didn't have a name.
Steven, we got work to do.
We just started.
What? Oh, I forgot.
We just started in the woods.
Yeah, we just started in the woods and didn't have a name.
Yeah. No, we started in the woods, saw the figure, then we saw the cabin, went into the cabin, found the hatch, went into the hatch.
What are you guys talking about?
We're doing a Gothic literature story for English,
Okay.
and we were telling Fred about it.